What's up, Diggletdreamers? Mathers here in another episode of Moveset Monday. Today we have a special episode because hashtag save Poliwrath. For those of you guys who don't know, Poliwrath is probably one of the coolest Pokemon out there in the world. Water fighting is just really cool, and I mean, look at him, he's just ready to go, he's a beast. But Gamefreak doesn't agree. They decided that they don't want to give Poliwrath the moves it deserves, like Aqua Jet, Mach Punch, Drain Punch, or another type of recovery move, or even just like any better fighting type move than Brick Break. So I'm starting a campaign right now called hashtag Save Poliwrath. Go out on Twitter, post your complaints, post your move sets for Poliwrath, post your replays for Poliwrath. Just let the world know about Poliwrath so that we can end this madness and change the world. So today I have 4 Poliwrath movesets for you today. They would all be much better if they had those moves I listed earlier, but we're working with what we got. So I've decided to come up with a couple different movesets. So let's go over those now. The first one is kind of an interesting one. It's probably the weirdest of the 4, but it could definitely have potential. I decided to go leftovers just because Poliwrath does hate not having that recovery, so getting a little bit each turn will be helpful. Power Up Punch is probably, arguably, its best setup move, besides Bulk Up. Bulk Up and Power Up Punch, they both have their benefits. Like, Power Up Punch does damage, and you get the boost, but Bulk Up also adds to defense and stuff, so you could bicker both ways for days, but hashtag bicker both days for bicker. I can't even say it like a second time. Like bicker both days for ways. But anyway, we have Power Up Punches, so you can start power punching and boosting your attack stat, and then you have Waterfall and Brick Break as your dual stab. And then the final move slot, I decided I would feature Encore because I think that's really like Poliwrath's best way to deal with one of its things that could kind of just sit on this thing is Quagsire. So if a Quagsire comes in and tries to stop you, then you can Encore it into whatever it wants to do, and hopefully that will give you some time to react. Also, Water Absorb lets you absorb the scalds it would probably want to do to you. But of course there's lots of other options for this final slot. If you do want to deal with Quagsires in a I typed a Q for Quagsire. If you want to deal with Quagsires in a more offensive way, you can go HP Grass, which can hit for super effective damage. Definitely an option. Also another option is Earthquake. Definitely just more coverage. Doesn't really help you with Quagsire, but it does help you with things like Lantern a little bit better. So that's really whatever your team wants to have help with. I'm gonna stick with Encore for now, just because I think it's cool that Poliwrath even gets Encore, and I think I want to just spread the word about that. So let's move on to the second moveset, which is Choice Specs. It's something I've actually seen running around a lot. Well, not a lot, but running around more frequently is a Choice Specs Polytope, because it does get actually a lot much more special coverage. It has a much better special move pool than its physical move pool, which is odd because its physical attack is better than its special attack. But anyway, we got Swift Swim here. Is just like a great ability to have. If you can have the chance to set up the rain, or even your opponent wants to set up the rain, you can take advantage of that. So getting that speed boost will be really, really nice. And then with these moves, you have Hydro Pump, Vacuum Wave is both your stabs, and then Ice Beam is always a great offensive move to have. And then the Psychic I went with is because, honestly, yeah, Psychic it's a great move. Let me see what else. Blizzard, if you want to inhale or something. Focus Blast, definitely a great move if you don't want to rely on Vacuum Wave priority, or maybe you want to switch up one of these non-stabs for Focus Blast or something. Hidden Power is also another great option here if you want to go Hidden Power Grass for those pesky Quagsires. Scald, definitely an option. Surf if you want to be more accurate but also more powerful than Scald. So you got a lot more options with the especially offensive set, but it just doesn't have the power that you need without the Choice Specs, so that Specs is kind of limiting. But I do like the idea of Specs Swift Swim set, so I'm going to keep that in there as one of those sets. Next one, Choice Band. It's pretty much the same idea behind the Choice Specs one, in that you get Swift Swim, and then you have just 4 coverage moves with the Choice Band. It would be really cool if it got like Switcheroo or something, and it could just do like a Choice Band Switcheroo, or Choice Spec Switcheroo, or even Choice Scarf, I don't know. But basically you got Waterfall, Brick Break as your dual stab. I'm so sad that Brick Break is its most powerful fighting type move. Like, it gets Circle Throw, which is a strange move. Like, Power Up Punch is not honestly that much weaker than it, and then Seismic Toss is the only other one it gets. Like, where's like Drain Punch? Where's Mach Punch? Where's High Jump Kick? Where's I understand that it doesn't get High Jump Kick. But what about like, what are the other moves like Force Palm? I don't even know. Other fighting type moves. Yeah, I can't think of any right now, but that's because it's late and I'm not in the best mindset. But anyway, with the other coverage moves we have is Earthquake. It lets you hit those electric types on the switch, which can be really useful, and you can also outspeed them with Swift Swim and hit them with Earthquake if you need to as well. Rock Slide, I thought, is just another great move to have, because there's a lot more bugs and flying types down here in NU, and I think it could be really useful. Also, other coverage moves you could choose here. I think it does get Ice Punch, Poison Jab. I think those are the only other two it really gets. So, yeah. Poison Jab and Ice Punch. They're both right next to each other, so if you ever want to try those ones out. You could also do, like, maybe Frustration. I don't know if that will help you hit something better. I don't know. But that is definitely an option. And then the final moveset for Poliwrath, I decided to go with a Hypnosis one, which is a little funky, of course, because Hypnosis is not very reliable. But it can be nice if you can put something to sleep and then start power-up punching. I think that would be really nice. Also went with Water Absorb on this one and on the first one, just so you can get that HP recovery, which is really beneficial. And since you're not really relying on your speed or sweeping ability, well, I guess maybe kind of, but since you're not really relying on your speed, I don't think I'd rather go with Water Absorb than Swift Swim on these sets, so that you can get the potential HP recovery, which Poliwrath really wants. So basically Hypnosis and then Power Up Punch just to start setting up, and then Waterfall, Brick Break as your coverage moves. And I just realized I didn't go over any of the EVs, but they're all pretty self-explanatory. On the first and last set, you want to go bulky, max HP, max attack, and I keep forgetting to set this. Just helpful tip, guys. Whenever you're doing your EVs, make sure your Pokemon has an odd number HP. That way, when you're coming in on hazards, you can live one more hazard switch than you normally could, because it rounds up in HP. So if you have an odd number HP, you'll live with more HP on hazards as opposed to less with an even number HP. So it's probably not going to matter too much, but I mean, like, why not, in case it does? It's only 1 point of HP, so it's not like, why not? And then you get to put that little bit into special defense or something and maybe live one hit. So yeah, make sure to do that. Also, another EV tip is when you're not using your attack stat, make sure to set your attack stat to your attack IV to 0. That way, when you're confused, you take less damage to yourself, and also foul play does less damage to yourself. So, good thing to keep in mind when you're doing that kind of stuff. So then, of course, with the Swift Swim ones, the middle two here, I decided to go max attack, whichever one, because this one's special attack, this one's physical attack, and then max speed. And also decided to go plus the attack or special attack nature. That way you hit a little harder, but you still get that Swift Swim boost, which is really nice. I think with the Swift Swim boost, you should be able to outspeed most of the tier and not have to worry about being jolly or timid. So there's that. I also put this, you're probably wondering about what this Uxie is over here. This is basically Poliwrath's favorite teammate, I think, because it is a great range setter, it sets up stealth rocks, and it has a slow U-turn potential. 3 things that Poliwrath will really enjoy when trying to sweep a team or something like that. Let me explain why. Damp Rock and Rain Dance gives Poliwrath Swift Swim, gives him more powerful stab water type moves, and Damp Rock just makes Rain Dance last longer, so you have that longer speed boost, you have the longer, more powerful water type moves. Stealth Rock, as you all know, is a great move, and it just helps chip damage on your opponent's team, so that Poliwrath doesn't have to do as much damage as he might not be able to. Just getting a little damage on every Pokemon in your opponent's team just makes it easier for Poliwrath to do the damage he needs to do. And then U-Turn is just great because Poliwrath doesn't really want to switch in on a Pokemon in case he has to take a hit or something. So being able to take the hit, U-Turn out into Poliwrath, and hopefully have already set up the rain for it, is just a really, really ideal thing for Poliwrath to have. That way it doesn't have to take the damage that it won't be able to really recover that reliably. And then Psychic is just it's just the 4th move slot. You can really put whatever you want here. Like, you could put Psychic, you could put Thunder Wave if you want to be really cheeky, because that way you can definitely outspeed with Poliwrath and stuff like that. Definitely just want to go like super bulky. I decided to go specially defensive here just because you want to be able to take hits. Speed is something you don't want because you want to be able to slow U-turn instead of fast U-turn. I think I'll do a video in the future kind of explaining all this stuff, like all these little tips that I'm giving you right now, because it's probably not sinking in right now, but I'll definitely do something about it in the future. Might even want to like take this down to 30, just so when you're like speed tying with an Uxie, you'll actually not speed tie and get the slow U-turn. But yeah, I'll do something about that in the future. But anyway, that's Save Poliwrath. Hashtag Save Poliwrath. Make sure to go tweet it out everywhere. Let everybody know that Poliwrath needs to be saved. And then play around some NU with these movesets and let me know how it goes. Post some replays to Twitter. Maybe send them to me or put them in the comment section down below. Whatever you want to do. As long as we save Poliwrath, that's all I care about. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button because your support does not go unnoticed. Subscribe if you haven't already because we are posting Pokemon content almost daily here at Diggletdreams lately. So you're getting all kinds of cool stuff. So make sure to suggest a moveset for next week because I'm always looking for new things to try out and new things to do. So put that in the comment section down below if you have a suggestion. But other than that, guys, keep dreaming. I'll see you next time, and peace out.